Joe Rogan in a new podcast. Episode has sparked outrage by openly expressing deep doubts about the official stories surrounding Charlie Kirk's case. He said there were too many mismatches and smelly unusual details that made him feel something was being hidden. Additionally, he said that the audience was only seeing a tiny portion of the larger picture and raised the idea of a phony persona or a misidentified individual. Some believed Rogan was unintentionally encouraging conjecture, while others viewed his remarks as a valid question. The drama was heightened when unsubstantiated. Allegations of a possible link between Kirk's wife and the incident started to circulate, targeting those closest to him. This is not a unique instance, as Rogan cryptically stated. It is a reflection of how truth, media, and power interact in our day and age. Millions of listeners pause to consider that statement. Are we truly aware of what's happening, or are we simply accepting what we are told? People, you had better fasten your seatbelts because what's going to happen is simply extraordinary. The public is perplexed by the timing coincidence. The internet community erupted with new theories while the investigation agency attempted to conceal the facts. There are concerns that the individual may have had a part in deceiving the people because he simply showed there at the correct time. The narrative instantly took a fresh turn when Joe Rogan appeared on his podcast. He was quite skeptical. They don't seem to really comprehend what's happening. This case has a lot of peculiar aspects. In a few hours, word had gone viral on social media, transforming what had appeared to be a closed case into an enigmatic labyrinth where each individual and every information might be a part of a bigger narrative that the public is still unaware of. The introduction of a fictitious suspect who was purportedly involved in other criminal cases was one of the factors that particularly attracted Rogan's attention and raised concerns about the investigation's credibility. Rogan claimed that many aspects of the case file appeared oddly incongruous and that the coincidence couldn't be a coincidence. Rogan also asked what kind of firearm was purportedly used. He described how Tyler Robinson allegedly utilized a weapon from World War III that was supposedly a keepsake of his grandfather. Interview 2.28-2.49. He spoke in a tone that was part ironic and half furious. According to the narrative, it was an antique family relic without a serial number, disassembled and put back together. It sounds like something from a motion picture. Really? Do you believe that an average individual could complete that task in a few hours? Rogan's remarks provoked a contentious discussion on social media. Many concurred that there were too many unclear details. However, others claimed he was overstating the technical aspects to attract interest. In any case, one thing is certain. Rogan's skepticism has given rise to a fresh wave of queries, leaving the general public perplexed. Are there further levels of mystery involved? This incident that hasn't been disclosed. There are others besides Joe Rogan, challenging the official narrative all around Charlie Kirk. Right now, Candace Owens has taken over with striking asserts that the public was deceived by the beginning. In a breathtaking declaration, Owens disclosed that she had been given new details that made her think it's possible that Tyler Robinson was set up. She declared, "Everything the agencies have informed us of the Charlie Kirk case is not accurate." The claim was made right away, caused a heated discussion on social media as many started to reconsider what had been believed to be a closed case. Owens stated that in her own investigation, she found that the name of a prominent politician retained, appearing in unofficial news outlets, implying that the event might have included a far wider network of power than the general public was aware. Owens also raised questions on Robinson's actual function, contesting the assert that he was the main offender. She stated that certain specifics don't add up in the case file, especially to important elements. Etching on the bullet. Owens claims that Robinson was perplexed upon learning of the purported engraving on the proof, something he said he was unaware of the weapon's genesis. She gestured revealed that although the report said the gun belonged to Robinson, no one knew him to be interested in or knowledgeable about guns, making her wonder about the precision of the investigation file. Owens wrapped up her remarks with a mysterious note. If what we've heard is just a portion of the image, then who is covering up the remainder? In light of that assertion, officially, Candace Owens turned the Charlie Kirk's case from a typical legal entering a dubious political and media labyrinth, where the distinction between reality and Anne's story becomes more and more hazy. Odd texts. Candace Owens fueled the flames by asserting that the manuscripts purportedly authored by Tyler Robinson stood out in a lot of methods. I witnessed my friend being shot in the neck. Yes, that is what took place. I simply wish to state that he was openly carried out once more in front of the world. The why is the query, right? The style, phrase, and tone, she said, were not in keeping with his style. Owens noted that Robinson never made use of the vehicle or any other administrative-sounding expression. However, the phrase appeared in the texts that were made public, which she described it as an indication of manipulation or fabrication. Additionally, Owens contested the assert that the father of Tyler Robinson had suggested that his kid turn himself up. She claimed that the Robinson family had been misinformed. A close friend of the family had Tyler was really named as a suspect in the case. And it served as an external alert, not a confession of guilt from Tyler himself. Candace continued from beginning to complete. This tale was previously written. The information was known, and when anyone attempted to challenge it, they were declared a conspiracy right away. Theorist. To give her more weight, Owens reminded the audience of the debate. Just a week prior to his passing, according to reports, Charlie Kirk declared a Turning Point's extensive internal audit USA, according to her. The audit was meant to provide insight into the financial situation of an enigmatic aspect of the company, where millions of dollars were purportedly absent without a reason. The moment between the events and the cover-up audit that resulted in Kirk's demise has caused several "I wonder if there's a secret link." When Joe Rogan's doubts and Owens' skepticism, social media right away burst with a fresh set of hypotheses, resulting in numerous conversations regarding the factors that underlie the hidden truth. And if the general public is only permitted to view just the tip of the iceberg, in his Joe Rogan's podcast, Explored a Bit observed a feature of the Charlie Kirk occurrence, emphasizing a certain aspect he referred to as incredibly odd and mysterious. Musica Rogan spoke of an old man who was reportedly present at the location during the mayhem and who seemed to be acting as a bait throughout the whole situation. The story claims that this man showed odd behavior and responded inappropriately for the circumstances, leaving a lot of observers perplexed. Rogan stated that as soon as the event started, the man abruptly yelling and making motions that attracted attention, making the throng anxious even more. He referred to it as a sequence of actions that defy ordinary reason. Interestingly, public documents reveal that this man has made appearances at numerous significant events, controversial prior occurrences, such as the Boston Marathon and 9/11s, although there is no concrete proof of his role in the incidents. Rogan stated the coincidence was too strange to be disregarded. One particular element that has the internet community's interest is that only a few days following the Kirk incident, the man was detained on suspicion of unlawful online conduct, stopping him from being asked or responding to inquiries regarding his actions at the scene. According to Rogan, the time of the arrest was unusual because it happened only once the media began to pay focus on the figure. He declared, "There's a problem. Every complaint, every query is being closed," because he was immediately taken into custody. Haven't even learned what his role was. Rogan's study has led to social media will soar with millions of conversations. He is viewed by many as someone who daring to inquire when the media keeps quiet, although others perceive him as inflating a haphazard series of occurrences. Whichever side you choose, it is evident that the specifics of this, the unidentified man, has unleashed a fresh wave of concerns regarding the openness of the inquiry, making the public even more interested in what actually transpired that tragic day. The entire situation is perplexing. Joe Rogan acknowledged on his podcast, coming out as doubtful and intrigued. The online community, he said, has started conducting independent research, examining the background and peculiar looks of the man thought to be the Charlie Kirk case's bait. Rogan asked a number of queries that have left millions of listeners wondering. How can one person constantly occur on the periphery of numerous historical occurrences? Is this just a person who unintentionally became entangled in the storm? Or is there a more profound issue? What's going on behind the scenes? A few speculate that the man might be mentally sick and in need of attention, whereas others think he might be a purposeful actor, the component of a bigger scheme to deceive the investigators and the media. Whatever the theory, this particular detail has rendered the suspicious viewpoint one of the most eerie and enigmatic aspects of the whole narrative. For many, Rogan's assertions only strengthen the notion that the official narrative still has numerous holes and unfinished components into position. For others, however, it's all just too much conjecture, representing the public's wish to discover meaning in a case that is already complex. Then, as though the narrative weren't even more perplexing, a fresh round of rumors started to spread. This time, the emphasis fell on the wife of Charlie Kirk, who is said to have contributed in some way to the sequence of events that resulted in this depressing event. These rumors, while not yet backed by substantial evidence, further stoked skepticism, making the already unclear case even more challenging to discern between facts as well as fiction. Rogan ended with a provocative quotation: "If each time two fresh questions after the mystery is answered emerge, then maybe the reality is still somewhere beyond what we are permitted to view." Following the incidents that caused Charlie Kirk to leave unexpectedly, the wife became the CEO of USA's Turning Point, a turn that has raised concerns and conjecture regarding the intricate bond between her, the group, as well as the strong involved political figures. Regarding social media, numerous remarks indicated that the appointment wasn't just a carrying on the tradition, but it might be a planned strategy. Some even made hints that she had contentious relationships with a few TPUSA politicians system, resulting in her quick ascent to the leadership much more dubious. This poses a significant query. Is this true? Charlie Kirk's desire, who has stated that he desired for his spouse to succeed him? Or is it a portion of a meticulously planned scenario prior to all of this? Even more enigmatic, an internal document allegedly authored by Charlie Kirk as his last memo, which he signed on September 2nd. Days before to his departure, it has been circulating around the internet. In it, Kirk declares Justin's appointment striff as the new coup of Turning Point USA and assigns him to oversee a contentious Dog GE as a program. The Dog GE sources claim that the initiative was created as an all-encompassing internal audit to assess performance and make changes, business culture, and monitor the movement of the enormous funds that TPUSA oversees. Should the memo is authentic and raises a deeper query? Was it Charlie Kirk's just days after the audit's announcement prior to his departure? A coincidence or a pivotal moment that caused him to unintentionally touch a lot of more perceptive? The narrative progressively seems like a labyrinth of secrecy and power, where each choice, each name, and each signature appears to have a hidden meaning. Doubters of the official narrative. Charlie's timing Kirk's departure a few days following the signed internal memo should not be taken seriously. They claim that it's not merely a coincidence, but a crucial component of a bigger sequence of occurrences. In that case, the Dog G audit Kirk may have touched on delicate financial exchanges within the company, money-related high-level contributors, and influential political allies. Some people think that if the results were disclosed, could severely harm the reputations and interests of the people behind the scenes. For those who believe in conspiracies, the September 2nd memo has taken on symbolic meaning. Proof, a hint that Kirk might have been attempting to take back control of his empire, bringing the company back to a more clear path prior to his abrupt departure, fueling the flames of suspicion. Candace Owens has stated that Kirk was experiencing severe political despite financial strain in his last weeks. In a shocking assertion about her podcast, Owens said that the billionaire Bill Ammon, a financier, has made threats and put pressure on Kirk regarding his position on Israel and Turning Point USA's course. Owens claimed that Kirk had repeatedly turned down requests from outside sources regarding proposals for financial assistance and conduct that she feels resulted in serious consequences for him. But Billman has refuted the accusations, calling them unfounded, wholly untrue, and demanding that every one of his exchanges were open and cordial with Kirk. However, Owens's remarks have created a germ of skepticism in the public consciousness. Online forums have started talking about the potential that strong financial forces might have stepped in to stop Kirk from disclosing private information details. A more significant secret that Owen claims that could have made him the object of extreme strain. After that, the Turning Point USA incident became less of a personal tragedy and more of a representation of the struggle between truth, power, and loyalty, where every new query posed increased the mystery of the story and more perplexing than before. Currently, unconfirmed assertions have sparked a fresh round of distrust, with some people thinking that Charlie Kirk's spouse might be more knowledgeable than she's giving in, especially when it comes to internal disputes and an enigmatic audit that purportedly occurred within the company before to Kirk's passing. The dispute has only become worse. Further, with a few users of social media claiming that her manner and emotional emotion at the funeral could have been not totally organic. Images and the memorial services videos have gone viral, attracting thousands of diverse remarks. Some claim that she started crying, regulated, but others have a strong disagreed, claiming that nobody has the right to assess the sorrow of those who are mourning. Naturally, there isn't specific proof to back up these accusations, but their reach has been sufficient to make things more and more difficult than before. She's not just a widow in grief, but has since turned into the focal point of several conspiracies, hypotheses in which every new theory causes a flurry of contentious discussion for numerous observers. This is the most sinister development in a narrative that is already rife with mysteries and unresolved queries. Regarding the internet community, divergent perspectives are certainly taking shape. Is she acting unfairly? Criticized by online investigators for turning into a victim of a mass panic of suspicion. Perhaps behind that serenity appearance, is there truly something deeper? A component of the puzzle that no has anyone ventured to talk about it yet. Regardless of the response, one thing is certain. This situation has progressed significantly outside the parameters of a personal tragedy. It is now a reflection of contemporary society in which convictions, realities, and human emotions are continually put to the test in an information-rich world and skepticism. Thus, as Joe Rogan and Candace as Owens has noted, the series of incidents related to the Charlie Kirk incident seems to have a lot of mysterious discrepancies, departing from the public more and more doubtful of the consistency of the official story. One of the queries, the question is, how could an individual purportedly enter the roof of a closely watched structure on the Utah campus of Valley University, particularly on such a massive scale an event pushed by the media, without being observed? And if it did occur, why were there no security guards stationed in such a good location to keep an eye on or intercept? Based on the initial remarks made by law enforcement, the suspect is thought to have carried out the act from the roof before departing the area. But a number of videos that are making the rounds on social media have increased more queries than responses. A few videos display an individual's actions on the roof that doesn't fit the description in the initial report, whereas others are cut or lack coherence, making it challenging for viewers to ascertain what precisely occurred. The gap between official testimony as well as visual proof has caused many people to think that the incident might be more intricate than is being made available to the public. For observers, this isn't merely a tale of a horrible incident, but also a reminder of the significance of being open and asking inquiries and looking for the truth amid the fog of information that envelops the event. Once more, the main query still unanswered. Are these fragmented? Fragments the outcome of disorder or remnants of a more complex narrative that someone is attempting to hide? The suspicion related to the incident grew more perplexing and challenging to describe, particularly following a man's disguise, stated accountability, and was taken into custody on unrelated accusations. This peculiar public conjecture resulted from progress. That someone was making a conscious effort to divert the public's attention from the actual of the event. As the inquiry continued, social media turned into a battlefield of opposing viewpoints. Users from various platforms started assembling leaked information, outdated images, and removed posts, formulating their own hypotheses. Every individual provided an alternative version of the narrative, adding to the growing dark and convoluted tale. Unusual, the components started to accumulate. From the masked man's dubious identity to the weapons source to the coincidental internal TPUSA timing memos, all of which have caused numerous think that the series of events is no longer just arbitrary, but possibly an elegant design. For a large portion of the Charlie Kirk case is not public, no longer regarded as a singular occurrence, but as a network of authority, knowledge, and concealed reality. Every conflicting detail further undermined confidence in official reports, leaving individuals perplexed. Is there anything else concealed? And regardless of the actual reason, one thing has become evident. This narrative is not merely about a terrible event, but also about the battle for narrative control regarding the impact of the media and the strength of doubt. In a world where data moves more quickly than the reality, the most crucial lesson might be alert. Watch, inquire, and avoid jumping to conclusions about a flawless narrative. Thus, what are your thoughts on all of this? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And remember to click the subscribe button so that you don't overlook any updates in the upcoming series of mystery investigations. View you in the upcoming video, where the reality has multiple sides at all times. The narrative serves as a reminder that before we believe anything on the internet, we ought to think critically and double-check information. In a time where false information spreads more quickly, in actuality, education is not merely about learning, but about gaining the ability to think for yourself. Ask inquiries and refrain from letting feelings rule our opinions.